Hi everyone. Today my name is Shruti Vashist and you're watching the channel Shruti Vashist. Today I am going to speak about how to know if you are more masculine or feminine in your relationships. And I'm just going to give you some, essentially I'm just going to give you an example of mine and give you some helpful hints, hopefully through this video, about if that's what you're wondering about. And then I'll speak about, manifesting your ideal relationship or a soulmate relationship, how you can best do that, basically. Knowing whether you are feminine or more masculine in your relationships. And what else? I have all kinds of links below my video to work with me personally. I have a website through which you can work with me personally. I have a new course out which is called Manifest Soulmate Relationships, so you can check that out, how to manifest the most harmonious relationships of your life, soulmate relationships, or some people call them twin flame relationships, but essentially it's about turning all of your relationships within that similar dynamic. And yeah, there's even a free mini course that I have, so there's a link for that too. So check out all of that below this video, and now I'm going to move into the subject. So I'm just going to begin with my own example. When I was much younger, there were moments in my life when I really liked doing the chasing, even though now I identify as much more feminine in my relationships. That's the way that I naturally feel comfortable, that feels most aligned to me. But I didn't always know this, and if you are in this state and you're wondering, where do I fall within this, perhaps this video will be helpful. I don't know, let me know in the comments below. But essentially it doesn't matter what gender you are, what kind of relationships you're into, but if you are any human person watching this, ask yourself how you felt best within your relationships. Did you feel better in the more receptive role or in the more action role? And I'll explain this a little bit more in this video. Let's start with the feminine. So the feminine force is about receptivity. It feels most like itself when it is in a relaxed state, when it can just be itself. It knows its own value, that I am love. And through that, it's like the moon, the moon knows itself as love. So you know that you are beauty, just like the moon is beautiful, it's magnetic. So you know that about yourself, and you know your inner values. It's more subtle, it's more inner values based. And through that you magnetize, you draw others in. So you don't have to take as many actions yourself. You're the force that likes to relax, that it's more about magnetism. And that's how you feel most natural. You feel most natural when people come to you. They are the ones taking more of the action. Let's say you're starting to date somebody, then they are the ones who are sending you the messages first for the most part, they kind of like, you can feel their energy on you for the most part, and that feels good to you. It feels natural, it feels most aligned. It's how you feel best in relationships. Then perhaps you identify more with that feminine polarity. You're predominantly more feminine, let's put it this way, in relationships. However, if it's the opposite, the masculine is more about taking action. It sees what inspires it, and it wants to go in that direction, and it wants to take actions. So that is the masculine energy. It wants to kind of be a bit more of a leader, in the sense that so the feminine leads internally. It's all about depth, so it leads with depth. And the masculine leads more in the outer world, more like forward action. So it's more expansive. So they're both leaders, but when we say that the masculine leads, it's because most of our focus is in the outer world, right? So the masculine has a direction for the relationship as well. Usually it's the one that comes up with the, that I want to take this relationship to the next level, whether that is a commitment or a proposal to marriage or whatever. So this is the masculine. It has that higher vision, and it wants to take the right action to serve it. So it serves that higher vision that it has, and it wants to protect truth. So it wants to protect the thing that it loves as well, which might be the feminine in that relationship as your partner. So that is basically the masculine. So if you feel identified more with the masculine, then with this type of dynamic, then perhaps you are more the masculine. I'll give you one example of myself, and because if some people are confused and they have perhaps been through something similar. So when I was I identify first of all more with the feminine side. In relationships, I feel like I'm much more the feminine, and I like to be in that state where I'm relaxed, I'm here, I know my values, I know that I am love and that I am desirable and through that people are drawn to me. So I don't need to take as many actions, and I just receive, like through my own just being, through my own self-worth, that I feel this worthy, that I can receive, I'm worthy of receiving. And let's say my partner does more of that leading in the outer, in terms of outer actions. They are the ones to come to me and ask me out, they are the ones to take the next step in the relationship or whatever. And it's not that I don't have the desire to do that, and it's also not like I'm never taking the first step, but predominantly and for the most major things, especially like those bigger steps or those more significant steps in the relationship. So that's how I know that I'm more the feminine. And in the past it wasn't always like this. So growing up, because like I like astrology, and I have some more masculine signs, like I'm an Aries moon, which is a very masculine sign, and it's actually the chaser. One of the archetypes is like the hunter or the chaser, and they love the chase, they love to chase. Moon is because my moon is in Aries, it's how you bond with other people and how you do relationships. So and it's how you know your femininity as a woman. So it's not that I don't enjoy the chase, I like doing it, and it might feel good in the moment to me, but as I look back, for my own personal journey, it didn't lead to a lot of satisfaction or good results when I was like putting myself out there. And I might have enjoyed it in the moment because Aries, we love the chase. But overall, when I think back, in the long term, it did not lead to the results that I wanted, and I found that I could just do so much more just by being myself and knowing my beauty and doing my own things and being in my beautiful sensuality. And I just kind of like, I don't have to do anything, people just come to me, and they're drawn to me, and all of those blessings that I want, those things, I can invoke them within myself because I know myself as that, and then it just comes. So I would say even until like let's say 2 or 3 years ago, I was going through this phase. 2 or 3 years ago especially, I was going through this phase where I was coming more into my masculine because I'm on the path of spirituality, and there's different phases that we go through. So some phases are more aligned with the feminine, and some are more also aligned with the higher masculine. So that masculine was finding a way to express itself, so I was being much more of that. I could feel my energy was more about that. But again, it did not lead to, and there weren't any big disappointments or anything, but I just generally observed, that it didn't lead to the more fulfilling results in my life came from when I was much more feminine. So that's been my journey, and that's how I function best, that feels most aligned to me. So hopefully this personal example of mine helped you also to make your own choice and know within your body what feels most aligned. If that doesn't resonate with you, perhaps you are more the masculine, you like to be in the more action role, the one that takes the action first, and that brings you that satisfaction. And your sense of worth comes from that taking actions, taking the right actions, and this energy of doing the right thing, and kind of like providing, which is not in that limited way that we think in our society these days, but it's more like just showing up with the right action essentially, and protecting truth, protecting the feminine. It's so funny because there's these two lizards and one is chasing the other, and I'm speaking about the feminine and masculine, and like the man, not the man but the male masculine energy chasing, and not chasing but pursuing. So perhaps that was what was missing in my explanation. It's the pursuer. Thank you to the lizards. So the masculine energy pursues, it knows what it wants, and it pursues it with that confidence, embodied confidence that that this is mine, and it takes the actions there, the truthful and the right actions. So if you are confused even at the end of this, that's fine, because when it comes to manifestation, if manifestation is your goal, you're trying to manifest your highest relationship, your ideal relationship, even if you are within a relationship already, because when we align with a certain vibration, our relationship dynamics change. So it doesn't matter if you are trying to manifest a new relationship or you already have one. But if you're confused, am I more masculine or feminine? It doesn't matter that much, because I want to let you know that when we work with manifesting, the first stage for that, whether you identify more as the masculine or the feminine, is a more feminine state, because you are receiving, you are invoking something, and it's coming to you. You are allowing life to give it to you, to bring it to you in the highest possible way. And then once it shows up, if you identify more as the masculine, you will sort of be inspired. You will know what to do. In fact, you will just find yourself doing it naturally. So that's the amazing thing, that even if you don't know, as long as you are natural, you're not trying to force anything. You are just being in this state of confidence, knowing yourself as love, knowing what your desire is, and just holding that desire, knowing that you deserve it. Being in that energy, it'll come to you. So it doesn't matter which polarity you identify more as, whether you are more masculine or feminine in relationships, and you don't know that, doesn't matter. So all you need to do in order to manifest your ideal relationship is to not force anything, be natural, know that it's first an internal process, and then when that manifestation comes in front of your eyes, because you have so aligned internally, you so deeply know what it is, you will identify it here in the outer, and you will find yourself naturally flowing, naturally doing what is necessary, or it will naturally come to you. If you are more feminine, that person will come up to you and suddenly start speaking to you, or suddenly it'll happen somehow. So not to worry either way. But let me know if this video helped you in any way to know whether you are more masculine or feminine in relationships, how that happens for you, what kind of videos you would like to see from me as well. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're new, and give this video a thumbs up if you got some wisdom today. I made another video as well on the diversity of relationships, the different kinds of relationships, and how whether you identify as non-binary or homosexual, heterosexual, whatever, there's a commonality that's there, how the masculine and feminine plays out, and how attraction works. So you might be interested, if you're interested in this subject, in that video also, and you can find the link to that. I'll post it up here. I think this side is where it shows up. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and bye. I'll see you in the next video.